Hello, pre-K friends. I have a book that I ordered online since we can't get to our classroom books right now, and I think you're going to recognize this one. I hope that you'll enjoy reading it with me. This one is called Yummy Yummy, Food for My Tummy. The same book that we had in our classroom, same story, but it's a little bit different title. Do you remember what ours was called? Ours was called Shark Trouble, and this one they've entitled it Yummy Yummy Food for My Tummy, but it's the same story. I think you will love it. It's by Sam Lloyd. He's the author that wrote the book, and the illustrator's name is Jack Tickle. Remember that one? He's got the funny last name. So let's read this book, and I know you can probably read it right along with me because I know you know most of the words. Far away in the middle of the deep blue sea, there were two small islands. On Banana Island there lived a little chimp named George, and on Coconut Island there lived a little chimp named Jess. George and Jess, look at those expressions. I don't think they look very happy, do you? They're lonely. One day George saw Jess and thought, wow, she looks friendly. And Jess saw George and thought, hey, he looks nice. And they both thought about how much fun it'd be to share a banana milkshake and a piece of coconut cake. But there was a problem, because in the deep blue sea between the two islands there were sharks. And do you remember what they sang? Sing it with me. Yummy, yummy, food for my tummy. The sharks sang it every time they saw those little chimps. The sharks want to eat those chimps. Don't worry, shouted George to Jess. I have a plan. I'll make some wings from the leaves of my banana tree and I'll fly across the water to visit you. George flapped and flapped his new wings and he jumped up and down, but he couldn't fly. And the sharks sang, yummy, yummy, food for my tummy. And they snapped at George's little chimp toes. Does not look safe, does it? I've got an idea, shouted Jess to George excitedly. I'll tunnel deep under the sea and I will come and visit you. Jess dug and dug, but the sharks heard the digging noise. And what did they sing? Yummy, yummy, food for my tummy. They sang as they smashed and bashed his tunnel until it flooded. Yeah, she had to go back. Never mind, called George. I've got another idea. Jess watched as George tied slippery banana peels to his hands and feet and started to ski surf across the water. Jess knew that was the silliest idea so far, but before she could warn George, he fell in. And the shark sang, yummy, yummy, food for my tummy. George swam faster and faster. The sharks got closer and closer. George made it back to Banana Island just in time. That was a close one, called Jess. Not safe. Jess soon thought of a brilliant plan. This will scare the sharks away, she shouted to George. With a mighty roar, she jumped out from behind the tree, waving her arms around. But the sharks were not the least bit afraid. They found the crabby coconut costume very funny, and they laughed until their bellies ached. And then they sang again, yummy, yummy, food for my tummy. This is no good, thought the little chimps. We've tried every idea in our heads. We need to think of something new if we're ever going to share milkshakes and cake. So they both climbed up their trees. Very good place to go when you need to think. As the chimps climbed higher and higher, the trees began to bend. The higher they climbed, the more the trees bent and bent until, oh no, we'll be eaten for sure. But then something amazing happened. The treetops met and tangled tightly together to form a big leafy knot. "Hooray, we're saved!" cried George and Jess, high above the horrible hungry sharks. And they were together. "Hi, George," said Jess. "Hello, Jess," said George. To celebrate their new friendship, George and Jess had a party with music and dancing, and of course lots of banana milkshakes and coconut cake. What a good ending for the chimps. They look like they're having fun, and now they're together, and they've created a little bridge so they can visit each other's islands all the time. I'm sure that the sharks are kind of bummed because they didn't get to eat the chimps. They'll just have to eat something else. Friends, I hope you enjoyed our book. I enjoyed our time together so much. You know, reading to you guys is my favorite thing. I hope you're doing well, and I will be reading another book for you soon. Love you. Bye-bye.